What's new, crew? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Cassandra and we are talking about my April meal plan. You're gonna have to ignore all the stuff, but seeds are starting. So I got my seeds set up. We got our heating mats and our lights up, or at least out, and I'm gonna set those up later today. We're gonna get some seeds started, so I'm really excited about that, but you're just gonna have to ignore that stuff in the back. But we're heading into April, which means we're gonna have a whole another month worth of meals here. I have a meal plan sitting in front of me and we're just gonna go over it. We're gonna go over my meal plan for our family of 6. So let's just go ahead and hop in. The first meal that we're gonna be doing is like a coffee Olive Garden gnocchi soup. I'm pretty sure, or I'm hoping, I'm crossing my fingers, that April is the last like cold-ish month we have. We live in the Midwest, so it really varies. Typically our first like really awesome solid weekend is Memorial Day weekend, so not until the end of May. However, I can cross my fingers and hope that April has some better weather, but we do definitely still have cold days. So I'm pretty sure April will be the last month where we're really gonna want to eat soup for the next couple of months. Hopefully, at least it starts to warm up, so we're gonna do that soup. We're gonna do like a cheesy venison, like spinach stromboli almost. I found the recipe on Pinterest, but looks pretty easy. Just roll out your dough, put your venison on it, your cheese, some spinach, roll it up, and it looks really delicious. So we're gonna do that this month, something new we're gonna try. We're gonna make some hand pies as well, basically just pasties, but we haven't done them in a minute. They've been on my meal plan, but for whatever reason they keep getting skipped over or we eat something else. So my meal plan isn't necessarily super set in stone because I do have a lot of pantry staples that we can make something else, or maybe we went down to like my mother-in-law's or whatever, something happened, birthdays where we were out of the house and we didn't have my meals. So I plan for every single day of the month to be eating in-house at home. But if something comes up, like we have a birthday party or my mother-in-law invites us over for dinner, those meals just get shelved and we eat them later. It's just one that got pushed off this month or last month, so I already have all the stuff for it anyways. So we're gonna do hand pies, and I'm kind of hoping that I can make some extra and put some in the freezer for later eating, like for lunches and stuff as well. We're gonna do spaghetti and meatballs. We almost always do some version of spaghetti throughout the month because I have a lot of little kids and it's just a meal that I don't have to fight with them to eat. It's just, my kids are really good eaters, I'm pretty lucky, but it is nice just to have a really easy, simple, brainless go-to meal. We're also gonna do salmon patties again. We did this last month and it's always been one of our favorite meals, but my husband made this like chipotle creamy mayo thing that we ate our salmon patties with, and it took it from like to a whole nother level. It just elevated it so much. We loved it and we haven't stopped talking about it since. So I'm gonna make salmon patties again, and he's gonna make that mayo. We have some roasts in the freezer and like beef tip roasts. We also have some venison roasts, and I've been cooking them in the crock pot kind of slowly but surely, but it's kind of come to my realization, talking to my family, specifically my husband, that we don't like to eat the whole roast as much as we previously did. So I'm gonna take some of those roasts and cut them down into tip-sized pieces. So we're gonna do some kebabs. Like I said, April is hit or miss weather. You can have some really great days and you can have some really cold, poopy days. So on one of the nicer days, I really wanna get out on the grill and do some kebabs. So we're gonna do some kebab bowls. So what we do for kebabs, we'll take our protein of choice. Usually it's chicken or steak, but in this case, I'm gonna cut up some of those beef roasts, and we like to marinate them in usually like a teriyaki based sauce. It's so good. Then we will cook our meat along with peppers, onions, mushrooms, and then we come inside and we put all of those goodies on top of like a bowl of rice, and we do like teriyaki bowls. They are so good. So we're gonna do that again. I've missed them so much since summertime, so I'm excited to get those going again. We're definitely doing baked tacos. Hands down one of my favorites. I always ask my family's input on meals, and this is always one that gets requested. Baked tacos are so easy. I like to make my filling in my crock pot. I'm actually making them today. I just make my filling in my crock pot, let it go all day. I do like our protein of choice. Usually it's chicken or ground beef. Sometimes I'll do ground pork if we have it. I throw in some rice, some corn. If you really wanted to, you could throw in beans and taco seasoning, cream cheese, and we'll take that and stuff it into either hard shell tacos or soft shell tacos and pop them in the oven and bake them, and they are fantastic. We're gonna do garlic parmesan rice and chicken, or chicken parmesan rice. But another meal I found on Pinterest, I have everything for it. I had this on my meal plan a couple months ago and it got skipped over, but we're definitely doing it. I was looking down my Pinterest board while I was making this meal plan. I found it again. It looks delicious, looks great. We're going to do it this month, and I think I'm gonna do it early on in the month to like force myself to do it. Another meal I found this month on Pinterest was a honey garlic chicken stir fry. It looked really, really good. My family, stir fries are hit or miss for my kids. Sometimes they gobble it up and sometimes they kind of pick at it, but this is a different sauce and it had different vegetables in it than what typical stir fries do. So I think it'll be a better match for my family, and if this goes over well, I can see this being a really great lunch to like prep and keep in the fridge, especially during summer break. So that's kind of why I'm trying this now. I am throwing in some meals and stuff this month, trying to figure out what I could cook in bulk and get in the freezer for easy lunches throughout the summertime, because kids are gonna be home from school before we know it. We're also gonna do teriyaki chicken wraps. I realized this month we have a lot of teriyaki styled marinades going on, but that is our go-to in the summertime, is a good teriyaki marinated whatever. It's so good. So we're gonna try those. Once again, I figured I could have that meat marinated and sitting in my freezer and then pull it out in the morning. It'll be thawed by lunch. I can throw it on the grill. We practically live outside. Once the weather starts to warm up, we're basically only inside to like sleep. That's really it. We live in the garden, we live outside. We love to take the kids hiking, into the beach, into the park. We're basically never in our home during the summertime. So we do a lot of grilling. Basically our meal plans will revolve around the grill once the weather starts to warm up. So we're also gonna do like a hot tuna casserole. I haven't made one of these in a really, really long time, and it's one of my husband's favorite, hands down favorite meals. So I thought, you know what, let's do it. I'm gonna make a good old-fashioned lasagna. I've gotten way better at my pasta maker. I'll link a video down below. I just filmed it last week for you guys. My pasta maker and making a bunch of fresh pasta and getting that to be shelf stable. But I've gotten way more comfortable with it. I'm a lot more consistent at it. So making lasagna noodles and making some really great lasagna, I'm excited about that. We're also gonna do a baked teriyaki salmon. I'm going to plan on getting a really big salmon fillet from Aldi, and I'll cut it in half, and I'll use half for the salmon patties and the other half for the teriyaki. We're gonna do good old-fashioned burgers. This was a request from my oldest daughter. She's excited to get out on the grill as well. We're gonna do a carbonara, and when I first started making carbonara, I think it was 2 summers ago, I was really skeptical if my kids were gonna eat it, but it's basically like an adult mac and cheese with the Parmesan cheese that goes in carbonara, and it's like a creamy, it's so good. But we're gonna do that because we have bacon in the freezer now from our pigs. So we're also gonna do sloppy joes this month, just a really simple brainless meal. You need a couple of those throughout the month just to keep it easy when you really want an easy meal. So I like to plan for those and then save them for when I really need them. So we're definitely gonna do sloppy joes this month as well. My husband requested meatball subs, so we're going to do that this month for him. It's one of his favorite meals, so I'm planning to take a day this month and make a couple batches of hamburger buns, which I've never made before, but they look pretty straightforward, and then also make some like Italian loafed bread or like some French bread or something, and do that all in one day, put it all in the freezer, and then that way when we want to have hamburgers or sloppy joes or something, I can just pull buns out of my freezer. That way I don't have to purchase them from the store. It's been hard for me to justify making homemade hamburger buns and stuff because they're like 88 cents at Aldi for a pack. So I don't know, I might just break down and buy hamburger buns and stuff from Aldi because they are so cheap. It's kind of like, is it worth my time? Is it not? So I don't know, we'll see what happens there. We're gonna do pizza night 3 times this month. I talked about this in my meal plan last month, but we're kind of getting back into having Friday pizza nights. Friday night is family night here, so we'll do movies, games. In the summertime, that might mean that we're like going to a park, or we just like do something fun with the kids. Everybody get together and talk about the week, hang out, whatever it is. So we've been doing pizza on Fridays. I want to do BLTs and a pasta salad. Everybody's itching for those summer meals that we haven't had in almost a year. So We're gonna break out the BLTs and do our favorite pasta salad and kind of eat off of that. So everyone's really excited about that one. Of course, we have Easter this month, so I don't host Easter. My husband's family is a very large family. He's one of 7 siblings, so we all kind of broke down last year or the year before, and everyone picked a holiday, and that is your designated holiday. My designated holiday is Christmas, and so I don't have to host Easter, but we always do lunch for holidays. So we'll be there for lunch, and usually we're there long enough to eat lunch and then also eat like a snacky dinner there before we end up coming home. And if not, I'll just make sure that we have stuff for sandwiches and stuff for when we come home that the kids can kind of pick at if they decide they want to eat something a little bit later in the day, because usually we go pretty hard for lunch and then you don't want to eat again until it's like 7 or 8 o'clock. So maybe that means we'll do sandwiches, or we'll pop a bag of popcorn or something, and we'll all just eat a little bit of a snack before we go off to bed. Let me know if you can relate to that one. Son wants to do crunch wraps. We haven't done those in a really long time, so we're gonna do some crunch wraps this month. I'm gonna do some shredded chicken and gravy in the crock pot. I wanted some easy crock pot meals, or something I could dump and not forget, or just forget about it and come back later in the day. I do have some busier days this month, so I wanted to have easy things, and that is the easiest meal on the planet, and it's so good. You can eat the shredded chicken and gravy over rice, noodles, potatoes. You can eat them on sandwiches. We're gonna do Spanish rice. This is always a family favorite. It's an easy go-to. I have a short on how to make Spanish rice. We're gonna do a chili cheese nachos. I want to make this like chili cheese nacho dip in my crock pot, and we'll use that dip to make nachos. I'm excited about it. It's a new one, and we'll see how it goes over. We're also gonna do quesadillas this month, another really easy, simple meal. And then the last thing we're doing this month is power bowls. That can kind of look like anything. I'll take whatever. It's a good end of the month meal because I'll take whatever we have left in the fridge, and we can just kind of dump it in and eat anything over a thing of rice. And just like that, there's my meal plan for my family of 6 for April. Thank you guys so much for taking time out of your day to hang out with me, and I will catch you guys in another video. Bye.